Every Sunday, for the last 10 years, I've set an extra chair at the dinner table. A simple oak chair, nothing fancy. It sat at the far end of the table between the china cabinet and the kitchen door, silent and still, waiting. The family used to ask questions. Marlene would tease, Jeff would roll his eyes, and Charlie. Well, Charlie never said much about it. They learned not to ask, not because I ever scolded them, but because they sensed in the way I looked at that chair that it wasn't about furniture, it was about hope, about memory, about something unfinished. It was a ritual, maybe even a crutch. I'm too old to pretend it didn't matter. Every Sunday, when I heard their cars in the driveway and the laughter trailing through the house, I'd look at that chair and feel a small ache in my chest. I'd imagine what he looked like now, my son, my firstborn, the one no one in this house even knew existed. His mother's name was Annie Peterson. She had eyes the color of pond water on a sunny day and freckles that danced across her cheeks when she laughed. We were 17 and full of rebellion. We made plans, big ones. We were going to run off to Chicago, live in a loft and write poetry in coffee shops. I loved her with the kind of foolish, total love you only feel once. When she got pregnant, her parents sent her away. No goodbyes, just gone. I got a letter, weeks later. She had a baby boy. She named him David. She gave him up. No details, no photos. The letter ended with, "I'm sorry. I hope one day you forgive me." I never did. Not really, but I never forgot. I married Eleanor 2 years later. She never knew. I locked that part of myself away. We had 3 beautiful children, Marlene, Jeff, and Charlie, and I built a life I was proud of. But there was always a missing piece, a chair that hadn't been pulled out yet. After Eleanor passed, I started the tradition. Every Sunday, dinner at 4 p.m. Roast chicken, potatoes, green beans. The kids brought dessert. Marlene brought her twin boys. Jeff came solo. And Charlie always showed up smelling like motor oil and peppermint gum. They filled the house with noise, and it was enough. Almost. That chair, though, always empty. I never told them why it was there. Sometimes I told myself it was for Eleanor. Sometimes I told myself it was for tradition. But in my heart, I knew it was for David. I didn't know where he was or what life he'd lived. But I needed him to know that if he ever found me, there'd be a seat waiting. My son Charlie met Jamie his first year of college. They became fast friends, roommates by choice after the first semester. Jamie visited on holidays when he couldn't fly home. He was polite, funny, quiet. He helped Eleanor wash dishes. He even played Go Fish with the twins on the living room rug. There was something about him, a strange familiarity. I'd watch him sometimes, the way he held his fork, or how he tapped the table when he was thinking. I chalked it up to getting older. Everyone reminds you of someone when your memory starts playing tricks on you. Still, I liked him. I liked him more than I should have. When Eleanor died, he hugged me harder than anyone else. Time moved fast. Charlie graduated. Jamie moved out. The kids got busy. The Sunday dinners got smaller, but the chair stayed. 10 years of waiting. 10 years of chicken and potatoes, of glancing at the door when the knock never came. Then last Sunday, it happened. It was a stormy evening. Rain smacked the windows and the air smelled like wet leaves. Dinner had ended. The grandkids were playing cards. Charlie was fixing a leak under the sink. There was a knock. I opened the door and there he was. Jamie. Older. Tired around the eyes. Holding a manila envelope. "Can I talk to you, Mr. Harper? Alone?" I nodded and stepped aside. My heart was already racing. We sat across from each other on the deck in the backyard, an empty chair between us. He opened the envelope and slid it to me. Inside was an adoption certificate. David Henry Linwood. Born April 22nd, 1985. Mother, Annie Peterson. Father, unknown. Until recently. Jamie had taken a DNA test through one of those ancestry sites. Charlie, curious about our roots, had done the same. The system connected them as half-brothers. He said the results stunned him, that he stared at the name for hours before he realized what it meant. And then he remembered all those Sundays. The way I looked at him, the way he'd always felt something in this house. "You're my father," he said. I didn't cry. Not then. My throat closed. My hands trembled. I reached out and put a hand over his. "I always hoped," I whispered. "I never stopped." He smiled, not the awkward kind, the kind that comes from truth. I stood. I walked around the table. I pulled him into my arms and hugged him the way I should have done the day he was born. My arms wrapped around years of absence. My hands trembled with regret. He cried. Quietly. I felt it in his shoulders. "You look like her," I said. "You have your mother's eyes." We sat down and looked out at the yard, watching the breeze move through the branches of the old oak tree. "I always felt different," he said. "Not unloved, not unwanted, just misfit. My adoptive parents, the Linwoods, they were kind, steady, good people. But I didn't look like them. I didn't talk like them. And I always felt like I was supposed to be somewhere else." He took a sip. "Mom, Barbara Linwood, she used to tell me, 'God gives us the family we need.' I believed her. Still do. But something in me always felt unfinished, like I had a story I hadn't read the first page of." He told me about his childhood, how he loved books, especially old ones with cracked spines and the smell of time. He played trumpet in high school, had a knack for numbers, but ended up majoring in communications. I smiled at that. He was always good with people. Even when he was just Charlie's friend, I saw how he listened. "I almost didn't apply to the school where I met Charlie," he said. "But I chose it because I liked the town name. Isn't that silly? One random decision." And I walked into the dorm and saw Charlie, and I felt calm, like I'd landed where I was supposed to. Then he told me about Annie. I looked her up a few years ago. She passed away in 2009. Cancer. She'd never married. I found a box of her things from her cousin. She'd kept a photo of you from high school. Wrote your name on the back. I think she wanted me to find you. She just didn't know how." I closed my eyes. That photo, her handwriting, I could see it clearly. "I'm married now," Jamie said softly. "Her name's Carla. We've got a little girl, 5 years old. Her name's Nora." I smiled. My eyes welled up. "You have a granddaughter," he said. "She has your eyes." I didn't speak, just reached out and gripped his shoulder. "I want her to know you," he added. "If you want that." I nodded, my voice cracked. "Of course I do." And just like that, another chair was added. Not at the table just yet, but in my heart. Telling the family wasn't easy. Charlie's face went white. Wait, he was my roommate, my best friend? We lived together. That's insane. Marlene wept. Not out of anger, but grief. Grief for what we never knew. Jeff stared at the floor. Then he got up and walked outside. He stood on the porch for an hour. When he came back, he hugged Jamie without saying a word. We were all silent for a while, the kind of silence that holds weight. Then Marlene broke it. He's family. That's what matters. And everyone nodded. The next Sunday, I didn't touch the chair. I didn't need to. Jamie came early, helped me set the table. He took the seat at the end, his seat. When the family arrived, they paused, took it in, adjusted. The twins shouted, "Uncle Jamie!" and tackled him with hugs. Charlie laughed, a real laugh. I guess we're closer than we thought. Dinner felt full, right, complete. That night I sat alone in the kitchen after everyone left. I looked at the chair, now warm from use, and thankful that my son was finally home.